So I guess this big building here that couldn't get in, it has no windows. And it's the mess hall. Now we're going to head on across the way here and see what else we can get into. Inside this picket fence here is Judge Carter's house. The house burned down in the 30s, so it's just a ghost structure. You got to picture it now. He built it in 1858 and added on to it as his family grew. The house was a frame structure with board and batting siding. 2 bay windows flanked the front porch, which would have faced off this way. The Carters boasted one of the largest libraries in the region, and he enjoyed several conveniences found in fine eastern residences of the period. For this reason, notable scientists and generals and railroad executives and other travelers came to his house. A president of the United States and Mark Twain even visited in his heyday. It was just too bad it burned down. Here's where they got their water. This is like inside the original fort. Right over here was the officers' quarters in that log cabin here. But we're gonna walk off. Trina's gonna sit on the bench and rest for a minute. We're gonna walk out here and see the stuff that's way out yonder. So way out here, just outside the fort, is the grave of Thornburg. He died September 27th, 1888. Thornburg was very much loved and will always be remembered. Thornburg was a dog. He was adopted by the soldiers. Was very much loved and will always be remembered. Thornburg was a dog. He was adopted by the soldiers. As a pup, Thornburg was found by the soldiers and named in honor of Major T.T. Thornburg, who was killed by Indians in 1879. The dog earned himself a place of respect over the years, and he was credited with several historic deeds, which included the capture of a commissary thief who was stealing the food in the middle of the night, during which the dog received a stab wound after he attacked the thief. And he warned the soldiers of approaching Indians one night so they wouldn't be ambushed, saved their lives that night. And he prevented the theft and stampeding of the horses and mules when he warned of the Indians. They were here to steal the horses and the mules, and he saved a young boy from drowning once in the pond. And he prevented one man from killing another man by grabbing his arm with a knife in the sand. He grabbed the guy by the arm and stopped him from stabbing the other fella. And he didn't have an actual owner. He belonged to the entire fort. And all the men took an interest in the dog. And but toward the end, a mule skinner named Buck Buchanan kind of took an interest in the dog, and the dog took an interest to him. And then in 1888, when a fatal kick from one of Buck's mules ended Thornburg's life, Buck buried him nearby and had a special tombstone carved, which still testifies to the bond between man and dog. Keep off. They just won't let you climb on nothing. They should have like one thing that you're not to climb on. This is Stacker's Frontier Wagon. It's a reproduction of an actual Conestoga style wagon used by the pioneers as they crossed the continent. Looks like it had the rings. There's the arches that go over the top that hold the canvas. They're laying inside of it. Let's walk back out here. I'm just sitting here at this bench that Trina's sitting on. Is the Trees Two Benches project. Something that an Eagle Scout came up with. Justin S. Wall. This tree was an old tree that had to be removed around here in the fort. So he took it and had it lumbered and milled and made benches out of it for the fort here, so that the wood stays on the property. So that's a Boy Scout for you. It says this was the officers' quarters, used from 1850 to 1858 to 1890. And looks like you can get in. Yeah, you can get in. Ooh. That's a glass. I thought it was a mirror. I wasn't sure. Oh, the officers' quarters. Oh, yeah. When I was on the submarine, I got to eat with the officers one time. And they had actual silverware, very fancy china. They ate like kings and queens. I had no idea. Well, the enlisted men ate on tin. I couldn't believe that the officers ate. I just couldn't believe how they had flowers on the table. I mean, it was just like they were a bunch of sissies. They weren't like the rest of us guys. I'll tell you what, they sit there and eat in there like it was just a gun over there and everything. Look at that. Let me zoom in on it. Couple things on the mantle there. Might be a good thing you're inside right now. The wind's kicking up, you can hear it.
Yeah, that's what I said when we get started.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else we got here. That was the office. Let's go see what this set is. This is in contrast with the captain's quarters, this tiny home. This is the tiny home of a first lieutenant. What's it say there, dear?
Reminds me of one of Christian's old homes. What do you think? So their ceilings were a little higher than these.
This is a lot nicer.
Yeah, you're right.
That's where we came in. We just walked through here and came out. And that was the dining room down there on the right. I think this is a bedroom. See the desk with old mat and books. Tin cup. It looks a lot like the one I used back at the campground. Bed with some quilts. Looks a lot like the quilt we're covered up with tonight. Maybe we're just too old. The stuff we got looks like the stuff that's here. So, I was just saying, there's a cup here looks like my cup, and a quilt on the bed looks like the one we covered up with. So I thought maybe we're just too damn old.
Yeah.
It was her grandmother's quilt. So it's actually.
No, my grandmother made it. It wasn't hers.
Well, that's what I said. Your grandmother made it. So it was an old quilt. It's another dining room. How many dining rooms do you need? Can't get into the rest of the house. Have to go outside and peek in. Hey, there's bacon and eggs on the table. They got bacon and eggs. Oh, it looks good too. How does 150-year-old bacon and eggs look so good? Oh.
Isn't that what we know? Well, we get over there and get caught in the rain, ain't we?
Oh, you'll sit somewhere dry while I go get the truck. That's what will happen. I gotta go around and peek in the back windows there. Damn, it's like a storm blowing up. There's the bedroom we were just looking at. And these are the back two rooms we couldn't see. I just had to sneak back here and peek. It's got some chests. Oh, this is the kitchen where they did the actual cooking. Right there. Got the stove. Got curtains here, can't see. There we go, there's the kitchen. Not bad. Covered. Not bad. That might be the outhouse. See what's on the table here. Looks like some molasses and some other things. The officers' barracks are still standing. We've seen them. But the infantry barracks used to stand here. They're gone, they burned down. So it says this is the punishment horse. If the man didn't do his work properly or didn't do it fast enough or didn't even do his work, he would have to sit on this wooden horse for hours at a time, holding that giant sword in the air until his arm felt like it was falling off, while the other men would come out and offer the horse food and water and things like that, but he would just have to starve as a punishment. So this was like the jail. And it said there's a walkway here, it goes all the way around. The guards could walk around the cell where the men were being held. So you can't knock a hole through the wall or try anything funny. It's dark in there. I can't see anything. What is this? The button. Hoping it works a light, but it don't do anything. The beds are slanted to ensure the guards will not fall asleep while on guard duty. What? The bed being slanted wouldn't stop me from falling asleep. What the hell are they talking about? I would sleep anyway. There's a table and a bed. They got stuff for a fire. This is a sentry box where you have a sentry to watch where the guys are in jail. So they had this tunnel around the cell, and then if you did manage to get past the guards walking around that, there was a sentry outside here to watch you try to make a run across the field. Looks like there was a building here. There's not much of a foundation. Instead it's the infantry barracks. More infantry barracks. Boy, it's so windy. That wind is kind of cold. You would need this. You would need this little building. You'd be miserable. That almost looks like a grave. Infantry barracks. And another one way down yonder to the blacksmith shop for the horses. Train's getting way ahead of me. Cut across. Save myself some water.